So I just had a crazy concert experience, and I want to share it all with you guys. So anyone who knows me personally knows that I'm a big fan of rap music. I listen to it all the time, and I listen to the new stuff, the old stuff, but it really just depends on my mood. And a couple months ago, I was going through some stuff, so I was really hooked on The Beautiful and Damned and Love is Rage 2. I was listening to these albums almost religiously, but then my luck finally turned around when G-Eazy announced his second Endless Summer Tour, and he was going to bring on Lil Uzi Vert, YB and Amir, Ty Dolla $ign, and a couple of other amazing artists. But as soon as I heard G and Uzi were performing, that was enough. That was enough for me to just sign up and get tickets immediately. So my cousin and I got tickets to see the show in Albuquerque because that's the closest show in our area. We arrived the day before, so we started prepping for the concert. We were going all out. We went to some shopping centers. We went to different malls across town. We were ready, so the next day we headed out to the venue and we got there at 6 o'clock sharp. As soon as we turned in, we saw the pretty standard stuff. We saw some drunk people, there was people fighting in the parking lot, people blasting music, and one of the performers was already on stage performing. So we went through security and admissions, and we met up with my parents because they wanted to tag along too, and plus my mom is a huge Lil Uzi Vert fan. But this moment in time changed our whole entire perspective of the concert. You see, my dad decided to trade tickets with my cousin and I because he said that the tickets they had were slightly closer than the ones that we had. So we took the tickets and we started exploring the venue. I mean, I was assuming that our seats were still near the middle, but just a little closer. So we looked for the seats in that area. We couldn't find it, so we asked someone where the seats were, and they told us that they were in the section near the front. So we went towards the front, and we showed our tickets to a staff member, and they said, "All right, cool. You guys are going to be sitting in the 2 seats up in the front row." What? The front row? What? The front row? I was completely in utter disbelief. I mean, I know my dad said that the tickets were closer, but I didn't know that they were that close. But needless to say, I was even more excited to watch the show. And let me tell you, man, sitting front row really opens doors for you, and it's just an overall crazier experience than if you're sitting in the back. I'm not trying to make anyone feel bad, but I'm just saying, when you're in the front row, you can feel the bass just pumping and coursing through your veins, and you can see the performers in basically 1080p. It's so amazing. And the craziest things happen in the front row. Like, literally, we were only standing there for 10 minutes, and we were watching the rapper YB and Amir perform. He was performing his song Bounce Out with that. It's a pretty catchy tune, if I do say so myself. But he jumped off the stage and ran into the crowd, just high-fiving everybody, and me and my cousin got to high-five YB and Amir. It was the craziest thing, and we literally weren't even there for more than 10 minutes, and things were already happening. But of course, with all good things, there always has to be a bad side. After YB and Amir finished his set, I had one of the strongest urges to pee. But I brushed it off because I live in the desert and I hydrate pretty often, so I'm kind of used to this kind of thing. So I was able to brush it off, but as the show progressed, the urge continued. That was until Lil Uzi Vert got on stage and started performing all of my favorite songs, especially The Way Life Goes. It's my favorite song. And his performance was great. It completely took my mind off having to pee. But once he got off stage, the urge came back. And of course, I thought about going. I was thinking I'd have enough time, but it looked like they were setting up the next show really quickly. And before I knew it, my indecisiveness was kicking in. So I got up and made the decision to go. But of course, as soon as I stood up, DJ Quiz got into his station and he started hyping up the crowd. But I was unfathomably excited, and the urge left my body yet again. Now, I mentioned before that you can slightly feel the bass just coursing through your body when you sit near the front, and some of the early performers didn't really have a loud set, but it was still loud enough so you could feel the bass. Oh man, but I completely underestimated the power of bass when G-Eazy came on. When G-Eazy came out, I was just blasted with
1, 2, 3, go!
But needless to say, that was such an amazing performance. It was literally an astonishing attempt of perfection in the corporeal world. It was great. I highly recommend it. If you haven't seen it, you should definitely go check out the Endless Summer Tour in a city near you. Not sponsored. But yeah, the show was great. I just have nothing but good things to say about it. It was really, really crazy. But of course, even after having the time of my life, I still had to pee. Now, after the concert, I was basically temporarily deaf and my voice was hella scratchy, but I cannot stress enough, I really, really had to go. I needed to make my bladder gladder as soon as possible. And it did take us a little while to get back to the hotel due to traffic and of course the fact that we didn't know the area too well. So the first thing on my mind was as soon as we get there, I'm booking it. So we got to the hotel and my cousin went to the lobby to go get a drink because he was super thirsty. And I ran straight to the room to go release the floodgates. And I felt amazing. Mission accomplished. Boys, we did it. I felt so amazing and I was just really tired, to be honest. I was really out of it, but I was feeling good. But then I heard a knock on the door. It was my cousin who had come back up from the lobby. I swear I did not take more than 2 minutes in that bathroom. It was literally 1 minute of me going and the other minute of me washing my hands. Literally 2 minutes. That's how long it took. But my cousin just stood there in the doorway and he said, "Bro, why did you have to go pee?" And I said, "What do you mean? I literally held it for 6 hours. Did you not hear me complaining about this the whole time?" And he repeated himself, "Bro, why did you have to go pee?" And I just thought, oh, geez, the poor kid is deaf from sitting up front. What am I going to tell his mom? And there it was. I looked at my cousin's phone, and he was standing in the hotel lobby with YBN Amir himself. The rapper that we high-fived and saw just 4 hours ago was in our hotel lobby. Like what are the odds? Like, nothing can explain how crazy that was to me. Like, YBN Amir was at the concert. He drove in a bus or a tour bus, and they knew where they were going, and they went all the way to the hotel, I'm assuming no problem, while we were over here getting lost and just like tripping, going on crazy roads, not knowing where we're going and stuff, and we somehow managed to link up with him at the same time. Well, at least I didn't, my cousin did, but still, that's crazy. That's a crazy coincidence. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up my experience of the Endless Summer Tour. I walked out with a nice shirt and a nice hat and a bunch of good vibes. So thank you so much for tuning in. I had a lot of fun, as always, making these animations. And man, what a story. These are really fun to make because it just makes me reflect and just think about how crazy we're put into situations and how much of it really just gets lost in memory. But when I make these videos, I can literally come back to this and relive it. Like, that's one of the best things about making these videos. So I'm glad you guys stuck around and saw this video, and thanks so much for the support. It really means a lot to me. And thank you. See you in the next video.